What is up, everybody? It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations. I'm the host of Epic Conversations 2020 Internet News and 2018 Innovation Award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. And also, once a month, I host conversations for fathers and dads that are co-sponsored by Dad Central, Canada's national fatherhood organization, and Dove Men Care. And as always, I like to say you're blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. If you don't know much, or if you do know much about Dr. Vibe, you know that one of the many conversations I host is called Black Canada Talking. Most Sunday afternoons on around 5 p.m. Eastern Time, we host these epic conversations. And what are they about? They are an online event that provides Black Canadians opportunities to give their takes and POVs on subjects that are of importance to them. Now, we do that most of the time, and also sometimes we also highlight great Black Canadians are doing great things. And we have another person today. Her name is Faces by Pureness. Let me give you a little background. She's the founder and co-owner of Faces by Pureness, a company that focuses on customer service, cleanliness, and talent in the field of beauty. The company was built with high standards and plans on keeping those standards, very high. Dabbling in makeup, and during her high school and teenage years, she worked in an aesthetic shop. She then decided to change her future career focus when she attended college. Soon after, she realized that she would never leave beauty behind, and she then entered the entertainment field. Wonder if I can get her to sing one of these days. Maybe during a session. While singing and being in front of the camera, she was also very involved backstage with hair, makeup, and wardrobe for talent, including herself. During her time attending university-level courses for advertising and working in the government for some years, she realized that her talent should not be a side job, but yet her cause, and therefore Faces by Pureness began. Having earned her certification in hair, nails, and textured Black hair, she is here to work for you. She has dealt with many professions that focus on clientele, respect, and purity. Let me repeat that. She has dealt with many professions that focus on clientele, respect, and purity, and holds her own company in the highest measure in all these categories. She has worked with a spectrum of clients from corporate, weddings, videos, photography shoots, and magazines, international recording artists, Avon Canada, Lana McQuaid, Canada, the biggest music rental and company in Canada, and WNBA star Tammy Sutton Brown. Hire her for your next beauty service, because we talked about this beforehand. There may be something coming up with Faces and Dr. Vibe. You just hold on a second. And she makes your day even more flawless. Her tagline, "A woman's virtue equals pureness." Let's watch a video of Faces in action.
Oh, wow.
Wonderful. And I have to give a big shout out, as always, to BIA Media. That is the first time we've done something like this on the Dr. Vibe Show. So kudos to BIA Media for making that happen. And hey, we did it for Faces. So what you saw on video, let's bring her on live. Faces, how are things? How you doing today?
I'm wonderful. I can't complain. I actually can't.
Good.
How are you
good,
doing, actually?
Good.
How are you?
I am blessed, highly favored, a magnet for miracles, and a solution for someone's problem. And I am jacked because you're here today. Because a
Thank
little
you.
while back I said, "Wait, wait, wait,"
You
and
did.
this is the right time to have you on.
You did.
And like I said, this is the first time we did that sort of video introduction on the Dr. Vibe Show. First time.
I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I feel special.
Well, you are special. There's no questioning about that. Geez,
Mhm.
there's so much we could catch up on.
Sounds
Just a little bit of background on yourself, because I really want to talk about beauty and makeup, especially during this time. But can you share a little bit more about yourself other than the great bio we shared with our audience?
You know what? You summed up so much of it. I'm like, you did a better job than I probably could.
Oh,
I mean,
stop it. Stop it now. Stop
really?
it. Okay. So young faces.
Mhm.
When was the moment that young faces said, you know what, I ain't gonna do corporate, I'm gonna do beauty? When did that happen?
It happened pretty much like the bio said. It happened when I was working for the government. It was kind of a switch that mentally just happened. I was like, okay, we're not going to be doing this. And I think also, which helped a lot, is people were like, I would pay you to do this. And I said,
Oh,
wait, you would? Really? And I was modest. I didn't think that would ever be a thing, but it was true. And when people started actually doing so and holding to their word, I realized this is something that could actually make something of itself. So I went forward.
so where did the initial love of beauty come from? Would that come from you? Did it come from a relative? Did it come from a friend?
I think it was just natural. I think it was natural. I was always artistic, painting, drawing, doing whatever musically. It just, everything was there and it lined up. And I loved painting faces suddenly as I got a little bit older. You know, makeup became a thing. And I was doing things for my friends, family, just naturally. They would just be like, come on, do this for me and whatever. And it was like, wait a minute, I am pretty good, right? So, yeah.
It also sounds that you did some performing during your journey, like
Yes, that
in
is
front of
a
the.
thing of the past.
Aww.
Bye-bye.
Well,
But
and what was family's reaction when, I guess two parts. One, that you were wanting to perform in front of the camera,
mm,
and then on the other end, when you told them, I'm going full time into the beauty industry.
I have Caribbean roots.
Enough
It
said.
didn't go over well. It didn't go over well. For the most part, I actually really didn't say anything right off the top. I kind of slowly just did it. I was like, oh, by the way, that career I had no longer is part of my life. And yeah, it didn't go over too well. I mean, I wasn't in trouble with them. I was already an adult, already living on my own, doing my own thing. However, it raised some brows and question marks for the most part.
Okay. When when did they accept it and saying, hey, you're doing something good? When did that, was there a moment when they said they
There was
validated?
a moment for
Yes.
one parent, she had come to me, travel with me to Detroit, and she got to see me kind of on tour in Detroit with a fashion show. And her reaction to the reactions of the ladies and the women and the audience. I went on stage for a bit and kind of did my piece, and she got to see all of that. And that was the aha moment for her.
Mm.
She got to see that it was real, it was tangible.
Yes.
It held a lot of weight.
Yes.
And, there were hundreds of people and all of them singing my praises. And she was like, oh my goodness, because she's, older parents, they weren't
Yes.
online. They didn't see that stuff happening. So when she got to see it, it was real for her. Now she was the only one that saw it. So I can say my father still questions it. So
How did it make you feel with your mother giving validation?
very good. Very good. It was a great moment. I remember the drive home. It was, it was tiresome, but I remember her just going on, and I was like, oh my gosh. To me, at that moment, I made it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Who was the first client that gave you validation? Whether it before you went where you are, like doing the professional stuff, or in the early days, who was that first client that gave you validation saying Faces me doing good?
Okay, there's two people that held
Okay.
strong weight, and one was my hairstylist. I used to get my hair braided by her, and she was like, "You're really good." She was like, "Miss said good, me mean good." And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, do you see your eyes right now? Do you see the blending? Do you see how much makeup artists are out here doing pure foolishness on people's faces?
Oh,
Come with
wow.
it. And I was like, really? And she was a top hairstylist at the time. And I was like, oh my goodness, that's incredible, you know? And the other person would be the person on my bio, Tammy Sutton Brown. I remember when I did her face, and it was a question mark photo shoot for the most part. There were some things that kind of glitched, but everything that we did in terms of getting her prepped just went flawlessly. And she was so impressed. And she was like, this is amazing. And she was like, here you go, here, whatever credentials, whatever images you need from me, whatever you need me to say, I'm going to say it because you're special. She said, don't ever stop. So
wonderful.
yeah.
Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
Really, that's huge. I really want to spend the most of our conversation today talking about the industry, past, present, and future.
Okay.
So when you got involved in the industry, what was it like for you? Was it like an overwhelming moment? Were there challenges in the early days? Were you immediately accepted? What was it like going back into those early days?
Going back, I mean, you're so engulfed with, you know, what's in your head. Am I good? You know, are they going to like me? You miss a lot of opportunities, you know, much like starting a family. You're just so in it that you don't really get to live in the moment. But I do remember it being difficult in the sense of being validated by not necessarily just my community, but the general industry, mainstream industry, as a Black woman, I guess. I remember having certain looks on my website that were Caribbean infused, of course, like Caravana. And I remember them saying, do you know how to do regular makeup?
Oh.
Like, I have regular makeup.
Oh,
If that's what you're calling
whoa.
it. I remember going to bridal.
Let me just interrupt.
Yes.
Now, you don't have to name the people, but who was saying that? Non-melanated individuals?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Because I feel like, you know, other people could see some of that, you know, imagery and kind of take it apart and say, wow, she's really good at makeup, so I'll hire her for my wedding anyways. Like, okay, yeah, there's glitter on this particular picture, but I still see her talent. But they couldn't see past that. So I immediately went to the way I was marketing and switched it up. Immediately, I made it more mainstream looking, a little bit more fashion oriented, high end. And that is where that started to elevate my career.
Was your original intent to market to Black?
No, but I mean,
Okay.
early on in my career, I wasn't getting a lot of images. And I remember, you know, Caravana, there's all these pictures going up. I remember stuff being in the newspaper and just taking clips of that and whatnot. And, you know, those were the times where everything's big, you know, and I was able to use that for my portfolio. And it didn't necessarily read well to everyone. So I had to switch it up.
Wow. Was that a hard decision to make?
It was, because I felt like it looked really good. It was engaging. It looked bright. It was in your face. And then I was like, oh, these regular boring images, that's what they want. The girl with a little bit of blush and some lip gloss, that's what they want. And apparently that's what they wanted, because it paid well. So I don't know what to say. You know, it is what it is.
I'll jump into it now, but I'm sure it would come out during our conversation. Racism in the industry. It sounded, from what you just described to us, it was pushback even in your early days. Two-part conversation piece. Are you experiencing it still? And do you still, okay, but does it still exist in the industry?
Absolutely, it exists. It exists. Is it a little bit easier? Absolutely. Some of us, and I'm not going to put myself in that category or pedestal, but I will say some of us had led the way. We've made it a little bit easier for the newer artists. However, there was a time where there was none of us on set, none. Even though it's been known, even before I came on, it's been known that melanated women had a better time, and I don't want to generalize this, but it is something that's said, have a better time doing different skin tones, because we have so many shades that we've learned to gear ourselves through those shades that we're able to then jump to other races and do those shades as well, different colors, and understanding undertones and whatnot. We had to learn that early on because we are so diverse in color. So with that said, we have so much knowledge and spectrum on this. We're able to do everybody's face. And unfortunately, we weren't acknowledged in that way. So early
Wow.
on.
But where are you saying it is better now, though?
It is better. It is better. You see a lot more. I go on set sometimes and I'm wondering, is this an all black cast? And then I realize, wait, no, it's really not. It's not. So yeah.
When you started, what were the services that you offered?
At first, I'll say it was a little bit of nails and makeup. It was, I guess you'd say, dumbed down from what it is now. Makeup wasn't, a whole production. It really wasn't. It was, put some foundation, make sure the skin was even, and, make sure she looked pretty and whatnot. I don't even remember applying lashes when I first started. It was really not that serious, but things changed. Things drastically have changed.
In what ways have they changed?
Well, I'll say I don't follow the actual standard of beauty of doing makeup. I still have some of my old school traits, which makes me unique and sought after. However, I will say there are certain things now that are more, I don't know, I want to say everybody kind of puts everybody in a box. I feel like everybody has this template that they work with and all women look the same. I don't really like that. I feel like,
that sounds weird to me. Why would people have that thought process?
Yeah, I see it all the time. And it's like, I'm a makeup artist and I look at their page and it's like, everybody looks the same. And I'm like, are they all related? No, they're, no, they're, so-and-so in this totally different, so-and-so from a totally different country and all this. And everybody looks exactly the same. So I don't know if we'll get out of that. I'm kind of hoping eventually we'll come back to making people look like themselves, just enhanced. So.
I'm going to delve deeper into that because the culture that we live in today,
mm-hmm.
the whole enhancement piece,
mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. It sounds like that's something you don't adhere to.
Right. And that's why I use the term so loosely, because enhanced, what does that mean? Oh, I'm trying to make them something they're not. And for me, I do use the term, but I use it so loosely because enhancing, I think, could just be, okay, so today she's, lying down in her bed with her hair a little scruffy, but now I'm going to put some curls and, even out her skin tone. And she's just going to look awake, bright, beautiful. She's going to feel confident and fresh, as opposed to now she's going to look like a celebrity that's walking down the runway, like a totally different person that they themselves don't even look like themselves. I'm not here for that.
I respect your standards on that.
Thanks. Thank you.
As I know the majority of your clients are ladies, and I like a natural look. I don't want to see someone that go, who's that?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And lots of people say that, but especially brides, they're like, I did a trial with so-and-so and I went home to the hubby-to-be and he was like, who are you?
Wow.
And I don't want him like that with me walking down the aisle, like, wow. And, it's, yeah, no, no. There are some people that really want to look completely different. Kudos, but a majority of people actually want to still look like themselves, to some degree, at least some degree.
Yeah. How has the industry changed for better or for worse since you started?
Well, in terms of the diversity, that's one that I think is a positive. For the worst, I would say the whole thing we just spoke on is the way women are trying to look, the Photoshop look, the filtered look.
Yeah. Okay. So where is that thought process driven from?
Media, social media. There's a lot of things here to unpack, but
go ahead, please.
It comes from a deeper source. I believe people feel that it's the celebrity vibe. It's the likes. It's the Instagram model look, right? We all know it. And when we see that particular woman get a certain kind of attention, we want to thrive for that. Apparently, that's the thing to. That's the goal. That's the goal.
Right.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be, but it's growing beyond belief. It's
Oh,
growing
wow.
beyond belief. And to the point now where when I do someone's face, they feel so beautiful and they're like, this will look even better with a filter. And I say, oh my goodness, what? They
What?
still want to bring it up a little bit more, just a little bit. So, you know, even getting images now, it's kind of like going back in the past. It was hard getting images before because people didn't have camera phones like that. Now it's hard because I'm getting filtered pictures and I don't want to post that. You know, I don't know what to tell you, but I would say that's definitely the downgrade, is just the way we view ourselves, basically. Mm-hmm.
Pop question. What percentage of your clients are like that?
Oh, 65.
Wow.
Yeah. And I mean, I wanted to say it was the younger crowd, but when I tell you some of my women that are my age and older are pulling out those filters, I do it for fun. I do it in video editing and whatnot, but in real life, I'm not here for all day filters where you do not know what I even look like when you see me. I know we'll have fun with it. They're there for fun. And I think that's where it stops, you know?
Wow. Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
So what are the services that you're offering these days?
So these days it's basically makeup and hair. I do plan on adding some. So if I come back, we might be talking about some new stuff.
No, not if.
Okay.
No, don't give me no if. When. Don't even go there. If. I'll cut you off right now if you say this if. Don't even go there.
Absolutely. When I'm back, you will be.
Thank you.
Some updated services that will be added. But right
Good.
now we have makeup and hair strong. So.
And makeup.
Yes.
What percentage of your clients have good conceptions of makeup compared to don't have good conceptions of makeup? Or because we all get clients in the service industry that come to us say, I want this, I know how to do this, and this.
Right.
Do you get many of those, or do they let you be the expert?
It's a little bit of a mix now with so much knowledge. I don't know if it's really knowledge, but I'll just call it that.
Okay.
From what they see online on YouTube, they watch tutorials, they have all this stuff, and they're like, well, I have this thing, so if you want to use that, it works. And I'm like, this is 5 shades off. What are you talking about? And you know, or they'll show me a picture and it's like, I want this look. And I'm like, you do realize you're a completely different complexion, completely different face shape, completely different hair, different face. Like everything is different, but somehow we're supposed to make it work.
There we go.
So,
we're looking at some of her work right here.
Thank you. Yeah.
Thank you, BIA Media. Like this is I know Faces is loving this, and she didn't even expect this.
Absolutely. Thank you. Yeah, merci.
Wonderful.
But yeah, it's crazy. Like it's I feel like there's some people that really, really just love the art, but can't let go of the fact that they don't really know what they're doing. So that's where it gets a little bit difficult. It gets sticky, and I funny that people that come to me, they don't like the way I do this, but I don't let them look at a mirror. You're not allowed to look at a mirror. We're not going to sit there and do the whole let me see what you're doing thing. It slows things down for one. You're just going to question every step. You're not going to see the whole. And another thing is it takes away the surprise element. When they've seen the process, they're like, oh, okay, cool. When it's done, they don't get to, oh, wow, look at my face. They don't get that experience. So I take away all mirrors, don't look at anything. Don't even have your friends tell you what you look like. We're not taking selfies in the middle of it. No, we're not.
I love it.
Yeah.
So many conversation pieces. So let me jump into this one. What percentage of your clients are men?
Oh, it's gone down. I remember early 2000s. Yeah, it was like a good percentage. I would say at least, 20, 25. I don't want to put a full number to it, but now it's like 1. I don't know what's going on. But let me take that back. I do know what's going on. Because part of it is with editing. They don't need, so like say I was on set for photo shoots and stuff like that, I'd have more males. But now they're like, okay, just throw that man on. We'll edit him after or whatever. So I do know that's a part of why I'm not getting as many males, especially on set.
Well, we won't give away anything to the audience, but
Yes, we
before we
will.
went live, Faces and I discussed something we may be doing. So,
Absolutely.
men and ladies who like their men, just stay tuned.
Like-
We're gonna be doing something to get the men back,
Absolutely.
because we need this stuff taken care of too.
Ooh, absolutely.
You know,
And for the most part, the guys never really wanted to get their face done. A very small percentage of them really ever wanted to, but most of the time it was required or needed for whatever we were doing. And I like that. And I used to take pictures of it. And I used to put it in my portfolio. No, there's no guys. So
that's going to change.
Guys back.
That's going to change.
Mm-hmm.
So which leads me to this: men taking care of their skin versus women taking care of their skin.
Mm-hmm.
What are there best practices that are common for both? Are there practices that are different for both?
Yeah, there should be practices that are different for the most part because of the structure of the skin, thickness of the skin, and also the fact that there's facial hair. We have to deal with it almost like you would deal with a scalp, like in that area, whether you wear a beard or not, you need to take care of that a little bit differently. And that's why we do have a lot of our brothers with, issues in the skin there. And we have to address that. It's deeper than, just washing your face. It's deeper than that, but also dealing with health. What are we doing internally? So there's a lot of that. And that's both across the board for men and women, of course. But needing to look at that it's huge. It's vital. So,
okay.
Guys.
So I'm gonna open up myself here because I'll take the jump into the faces pool here. Black men facial scrubs, should they do it? Oh, this is interesting. Go on.
I feel like it's a yes and a no. And of course, it's going to be dependent on the person. It's almost like a private consult type of thing for you to really assess the skin. However, physical exfoliation is good for the beard area. It's good in general, not in excess. Okay. So not overly done. And when I say overly done, you don't want to be scrubbing your face 25 times a week. Maybe
no,
every
definitely
2 weeks.
Okay.
Once every 2 weeks at most. However, what I would say is chemical exfoliation, AHAs. You really want to make sure that your skin is being turned over. That's part of the problem. Our skin isn't being turned over, especially at the age of 35 and up. Your skin is not turning over. We could even push it back to 30. Your skin's not turning over the way it used to. So that does help a lot. And the only reason why I even introduce physical scrubs for men is because, especially Black men, because the beard, we need to get that dead skin off so the hair can come out. We have curlies going on and they tend to go right back in. So we have to be careful with that. So scrubs can be introduced. However, chemical exfoliation is probably best.
Okay. Men and facial wash. Doing
facial wash, absolutely.
So here's an interesting question I have for you. I recently, a little while back, brought a facial product. And as you notice, I'm smooth up here.
You are. Yeah.
And I asked, but I had a question saying, if I use the facial wash here, is it okay to use it here? Because I don't know if the skin is the same. And when I called the company, the representative on the phone said they weren't sure. They said probably yes. So I'd like to know, facial wash, yes, we know it's for the beard and face, but if you're a bald-headed gentleman, would you be okay to use it up here?
So, much like I said before, the beard is almost treated like the scalp. If it's working here, it can work there too.
Okay.
Now, of course, I don't want to make too much of general statements and everybody be going, they're grabbing their facial wash and going hand.
Yeah.
However, it could work. And I've always been a person that said, if one product works for one thing, why not use it for the other? So many people say, I use my hair butter for my body. It moisturizes your hair. Why wouldn't it do the same for your skin? So, and if it doesn't have any allergic reaction, it touches your face and you're not getting any pimples, why not use it on your skin? So yeah, I don't see the problem with that at all.
All right. What we talked about before, we got to do it now because we're circling all around that idea. And yes. I think we should do it. We're going to do it. So folks, just hold on tight. We're going to get it done soon, but it'll definitely benefit the men. Let's leave it at that.
Yeah.
So let's flip it over to ladies.
Yeah.
products, what Black women, what should they be using, what shouldn't they be using when it comes to face and hair? I know we've had previous live conversations that you like certain types of products.
Yeah, natural.
So, yes. So if you could talk about what Black women should be using on their skin, their hair, and then what you like personally product wise.
I love natural products. I've said that so many times. People are tired of hearing me say it. And I have them in my kit. So yeah. But I'll say I do introduce some chemicals when it's necessary and needed. If you're having certain just deeper rooted issues, it's almost like saying, well, should I go to the doctor for this life-threatening thing? Yeah, you should. Like maybe having your fish oil today is not going to help that particular disease or whatever it has you have going on. However, yeah, I tend to lean natural. So what are some things? Almond oil. I love that stuff for your skin. I love mustard oils. And you're going to hear me say a lot of oils.
Yeah, yeah.
You're ready for it. Yeah, and I make concoctions. Sometimes I do different things. Some are great for hyperpigmentation, which we definitely have issues with in melanated skin. But again, if you were to lead from that, then we want to go into chemicals and say, well, what about alpha albutin? That also works for hyperpigmentation, and it's legal in Canada, unlike bleaching of your skin. So yeah, there's different things that we can dive into, and everybody has their own personal case that they need to assess and what's safe for them. So it's not something you want to just throw out there and be like, guys, use all this stuff and you'll be great. No, I'm careful. Even natural stuff can be toxic. So
you're making my mind think here that and you don't have to answer this, but I'm just putting it out there. How many times when people buy hair or facial products, do they actually read the ingredients? I can tell what your answer would be just by the way your body language is there.
Just when I'm standing up in, a random beauty supply and I'm there looking at labels like a crazy lady, and I see somebody just picking up and taking up and, oh, what's this? And you'll hear them say it, or they'll ask the clerk or whomever, what's this? Oh, yeah. Okay, I'll get 10 of them for my auntie, my uncle, and this and that, and my cousin. And no. And then you see reviews. This product sucked and it was terrible. Because it doesn't work for you, boo-boo. It doesn't work for you. And, and sometimes that's why I don't even look at reviews anymore, because things are so skewed. And I'm like, most likely, let me just see. And this, I'm going to tell you, this is actually why I love YouTube. I get to see the physical review. I look at them and I'm like, that product's not going to work for her. Whether it be skin or hair, that is not going to work for her. I know she has hyperpigmentation. This is the issue she's dealing with. She has acne. This is what she's looking at. Or she has natural hair. She doesn't need that extra protein, whatever it may be. And lo and behold, she'll use it. Oh, this product sucks. Oh, look at my hair. It's breaking now. I'm like,
you're giving me another idea.
Oh, okay.
I think if you're interested, I think that you either can do it alone or I can be happy to co-host it with you. Okay. Do a series of videos of products that you should not be using.
Okay.
Or not products, but okay. When you go to buy hair or beauty products, you should be looking. If you see this in this product, stay away.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I was supposed to do that like 10,000 years ago, and I never did. So thanks for reminding me. Yeah.
No, I know, because I'm very serious, because we're told to look when we buy our food at the ingredients in our food. Why aren't we doing the same thing when we're looking at what goes on our hair and all that sort of stuff? So I would almost seem like you could be an advocate for healthy hair and beauty products.
Very true. Very true. I'm here for that. And you just made me.
I know you are, but because you have such rich knowledge of that, and also, especially in these times where you got to be really careful, most of what you're spending your stuff on, you want to make sure that what you buy is an investment, not an expense.
And thank you. Especially as Canadians, we know it all too well. We don't have the luxury of returning a lot of these products. when it's bought at the beauty supply, we cannot return that product. If it's even, I had a mistake, you know, I've bought the product. Oh man, it's the wrong one. This is a deep conditioner instead of the cream. Okay, let me go back in. 2 seconds, I can't return that product. So we don't have that luxury. So when you say that, I tell you dollars have gone into, for myself included, dollars have been wasted, a lot of dollars. And we will continue to feed this industry because of what? Curiosity, confusion, and lack of knowledge. So.
Oh, love the tag. That's the tagline for the series.
You're
I'm
right.
glad, I'm glad this is recorded because that is the tagline for this series. No, I really think that there, yeah, we're going to talk offline about this. I think that, I think there is a huge, especially, well, we'll go into this naturally now. You have such a large, engaged community.
Right, right.
We're going to flip it to the business part now, folks. It's not all hair and beauty because she didn't just do this by just doing hair. She also did work, business work, right? Work. She did work, you know. Yeah, work. How have you been able to build a community, an engaged community? For example, you have over 15,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah.
That didn't happen overnight. How have you been able to do that?
There's so many different things that have happened over the years. But when I say we go back to young Pureness, we go right back to her. Where was she when she was needing, you know, to get herself out there? She was on the streets. She literally was on the streets handing out flyers, going to laundromats and putting up the little post-it with the phone number that you pull off. Wow. I was at every bus stop. I, you know, had my family involved, and we would scour. When I say scour, Toronto and the GTA before it was even a GTA. We went crazy. And with that said, it came to a point where I had so many business cards. People knew my business card before they knew me. And I remember going into the West Indian store and they were like, "You look familiar." And I was like, I've never been here before. I don't know what you're talking. And I realized somebody had put my business cards there. I don't know who shared them or who brought them over, but my business cards were right there as I walked out the door. And I was like, whoa, like it was a surreal moment. Like I was, you know, I was thrown off, and I started getting, you know, newspaper articles and things were written about me. Then the radio started reaching out, and it was like, you're everywhere. You're everywhere. What's going on? Who are you? What's going on? You know, I hear you do makeup. What else you do? You do magic too? Like, it was crazy. And I made sure I was in everyone's face at that point. And, you know, every event, I just went by myself, just went and made it known that I was there, handed out cards whenever, up until today, if I'm at a photo shoot, a video shoot, anything like that, and I feel like there's one person that doesn't know me, I'm leaving my business card at the front. It has to be, you have to get that engagement. You got to keep that crowd going. You know, it never stops, and this industry is ever changing. So you never know when clients going to fall off. There's so many of us artists, you know, there's a time where someone either I'm busy or someone can't afford me or they've moved and they're going to go to someone else. How do I sustain my business when they're gone? What do I do? So I got to keep going. So
how have you been able to earn the trust of the people in your community?
Because I was real. I've never changed my colors. Everything is still me. I may have changed my hair color over the years. I've been purple, green, blue, everything under the sun, but I stayed me. One thing, a beautiful person that I love to collab with all the time, Cam Shuka. Yes. We've been doing a few recent shoots, and she was like, "Pureness, the one thing about you is your consistency." She said, "I've never met anyone that's still pushing." She said, "The same way you book, the same way you engage, the same way you say, okay, your booking has been saved. Thank you again for working with Faces by Pureness." Like, it has never changed. And I was like, thank you. And I'm happy it hasn't changed, but I'm also happy I got it right the first time so that I didn't need it to change. So I think that's what's geared trust. And of course, there has to be talent behind it. Not only was I business savvy and customer service savvy, I also had a little bit of talent to push around. So it worked.
Wow, that's great.
Thank you.
This has been an interesting year.
It has.
How, as we're coming to the end of 2020, what is a Faces by Pureness reflection of her business this year and herself this year?
Wow. It's grown. There's no words. In terms of online love, I mean, I have my struggles with certain platforms, and I've said this publicly so many times. However, when I say my social media gathering, my community, they stay with me. You know, we're tight. We go everywhere together. We do. That's how I feel in my head. Like we're besties, and they really support. And in terms of my personal growth during this time, I found a way to finally slow down, listen. I was listening, I was doing all that stuff, but now I really have brought back the pureness I remember in, 2010. I really remember her, grassroots, just sitting there like, I wonder if I'm going to get a client. Oh my gosh, I got a client. Yay. And I talked to them for 4 hours, Yeah, really? You need your makeup done? Oh, cool. Okay. So where are you going tomorrow? Are you going to do this? Okay. And I am back there, and I missed her, and I'm happy to have her back, and I think my following will be happy to see that pureness, the ones that especially weren't able to experience it, and the ones that missed it from the past. We all have had busy lives, so I don't think many realize how much things have changed until this pandemic happened. We all slowed down, we all switched gears, and for me, it's been for the better, and I'm so happy that we're here in 2020. I can't believe a pandemic would make that happen. I'm not happy for the sadness that it's brought, but for the growth, I'm here for it. So, yeah.
So you've been able to amplify.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. And I want to keep going. Absolutely want to keep going. I want to use this as my drive to build a stronger business moving forward.
Wow. That's great. That's really, really, really good. So the online business you're doing now, what percentages hair, what's making up your business these days? Because the majority of it is online.
Yes. It's so random. And that's what the pandemic made. It's so strange. I'm doing mannequins. I'm doing virtual classes. I'm doing virtual meetings too, online YouTube videos I'm collabing with people. We're out here where, it's not as structured for the most part. I used to be really structured.
Yep.
And disciplined, and I was like able to lax back a little bit, and people are finding out about me and they're loving it. So I can't argue that. I love it too, but definitely just things have changed. I can't even say hair, makeup indifferent. They're both literally equal. However, during shutdown, I can't actually do physical hair and makeup, but I'm able to still share knowledge, which is another part of my passion, which is teaching. So
I've got another idea, but I'm not going to give this one out live.
Okay, we'll leave that one out. Okay,
yeah,
right,
I got.
You have a lot of ideas, so don't forget.
Yeah, I'm actually going to make sure that one. There's another idea that I got that one. That's written down. That's another idea.
Okay,
so
that one sounds good. Now I'm.
Yeah, if I'm not giving it out live, I've done a deep on that already. So the percentage of your clients that are melanated versus non-melanated?
I say it goes up and down. Right now, it's non-melanated is a little bit more.
Wow.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know that, because I find, and again, I don't want to generalize, but I find they're not as forthcoming with being on social media. Like, they don't want me posting their picture of them on their special day every minute and this stuff. So I don't get to show it a lot. Whereas I find my melanated clients will be ready to post me. Oh my gosh, here's some selfies. Oh my gosh. Even though it has a filter on it, which I don't want, but they're more willing. So you'll see a lot more of that. So sometimes I have to really dig the crates to get my non-melanated pictures out there so that you can see that I do diverse makeup. But it's literally, it's actually a little bit less melanated people really on my roster, if you will. So
wow,
shocking.
Hey, you know what? When you do good work, people are going to come.
Absolutely, and it doesn't matter.
Okay, let me rephrase that. You do good work, and you're a good person.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what I'm a very much. If you're an entrepreneur, one of the things that people don't realize: be a good human.
Yes, I mean, we even see that in larger companies where something will go left, and they'll be like, "Well, did you see the owner? Do you know what the owner does? And immediately that will start a scandal. So definitely, it's about your character.
You are at the part of your journey where you can now mentor younger individuals.
Mm-hmm.
What is different with the younger people coming into the industry now compared to when you were their age?
One is sustainability. They don't know how to really drive a business. They more so know how to post a picture, how to make
Oh,
it,
yeah.
they know the ins and outs of making that video look really good so you book them. But when the booking is over, the client is really dissatisfied.
Wow.
I see a lot of the young girls with these makeup pages, and you look at it and, everything looks good. One thing I've always said to look out for is
Rio
one,
Dango saying, yeah, he's liking that.
yes, one thing that is so predominant, and I tell people to look out for, is girls just taking pictures of themselves. You don't want a person that's a makeup artist, I use that very loosely for some, that only has pictures of them doing their own makeup. It's a completely different thing. As a matter of fact, I say my skills for my own makeup have gone down because I'm so used to holding the brush opposite my face. So it has to be understood that being able to see another face is so much different. And that's why this template world that I'm not really co-signing to is so strong, because they're only able to use that one template and apply it to everybody, as opposed to really learning the structure of a face. And also get to know your client. The minute I
Yes.
walk in on a client, I can tell this girl's not about that fleeky eyebrow. She doesn't want that. She wants a natural, fluffy brow with some blush and some gloss and maybe some shadow, and call it a day. We have to be careful. We have to understand what we're dealing with and what we're moving for. So that's what I'll say. If I was to mentor someone now, I'd say, look at how you're doing makeup. Are you doing the template version, or have you actually learned faces? Have you learned people's personalities? Have you learned how to read a person? And if you haven't, start again.
Mhm. What's the biggest misconception you feel there is about the beauty industry?
Well, one is because of social media and YouTube as well, is that it's drama. That's all we know now. Like, we know the gurus for who's fighting who has a lawsuit, who hasn't sold enough gummies. Like, I don't know, but does anyone else have a problem with this? I do. That's
Hey,
how
I agree.
that's how we
I
started
don't
this.
I don't watch I don't watch much TV.
Fair. And funny, I don't even watch these things, and somehow it comes in my DMs, or somebody sending me a video, or somehow it's in my timeline, and I find out that there's another guru fighting somebody else, or there's some racial debacle. There's something going on, and that is not what it was about. I understand, women can be catty, uh, but it was never like this. And now drama drives beauty more than beauty does. So I think that's my problem with the beauty industry in a whole right now. And that's all everyone's seeing.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
What's the greatest? Okay, tell me one of the best moments you've had during your beauty journey that you've never forgotten.
That's hard. That's actually really hard to say. Oh my goodness.
Can be anyone, big or small. Even could have happened yesterday if it.
That's so true. That's so true.
Yeah, because
That
I know
is
there.
so hard, because I've had thousands of, like, I'm like, this is the amazing moment, and then the next week this is the amazing moment. It's so hard to
Well,
knock that down.
and
Let's speak about something
anyone.
current, 'cause it's
Pardon me.
easier. I was gonna say, let's speak about something current because it's easier for me. I'll do that.
Sure.
Julie Black. Okay, so my connection with her was unique because we had met randomly. I've touched up her face here and there. We've met and taken selfies, but we never really met. And I remember at one point, like, I touched up her face for a show. It was like a reality singing show, and she was like, "Oh, sis, message me your info so, we can stay connected." And nothing really happened. And I remember it just falling off. And I was like, wait a minute, wasn't I supposed to get in touch? And then I did. And then it was a little too late, whatever. But then she had this event going on with her 100 Strong and Sexy fitness journey and business. And she needed someone, on the makeup team to glam these women because they've had some success in their fitness journeys. And she wanted to create a shoot. And it was epic. It was epic. Like, first of all, I didn't even know I was going to be doing her face that day. I thought I was just doing the ladies. And I did her face, some other of the VIPs there that day. And we have been riding strong. I think, what are we on, our third year? And I'm her full-time artist. I love working with her. we have come to the point of, you know, Dutty whining on her floor at this point, you know. Don't tell anyone I said it,
Of
but
course,
it's
we're never
public
going to
knowledge.
see that, but I can just imagine and picture it. All right.
But it's amazing, you know. I again, this is what I'm talking about, finding that new connection. I feel has happened during Corona more than any other time, because I was so strict. I was so business, stay professional.
Yes.
And I was like, you know what, I'm gonna lax that a little bit. I'm still gonna be professional. You guys are still gonna get pureness vibes, but
Yeah.
I definitely, that's one thing that has stood out is, and it just reminds me of the journey in a whole, is how we started and where we're at. And it reminds me of my entire journey, where I started and where I'm at now. It's amazing.
Got a question here from Real Django. Are there more opportunities for people of color as makeup artists in television and movies compared to 30, 40 years ago?
We were speaking on this. Absolutely. Absolutely. When I was saying to Dr. Vibe, definitely when I go on set now, I wonder, is this a white cast? Is this a black cast? Is this for BET? I'm not sure. Like, and then when I turn around, I'm like, oh, it's a regular city TV thing with, you know, a bunch of unmelanated people. Who knew? But everybody behind the scenes is melanated, so it's great.
This is great conversation, because I'm thinking on things on the fly here. For people who do a lot of these things like me, who don't have the luxury of having someone like you in their camp, what are some basics they should do before they come on camera ready live stream wise? And I'm listening intently on what you're saying here.
Okay, so are we talking someone that just doesn't have an artist and they just have to do their own thing, right?
Yes, because for example, a few weeks ago I was interviewed by CTV News Channel.
Okay.
And very interesting experience, because when you're interviewed by them, well, the interview I had, I did not see the person conducting the interview. I could only see, I was looking at the camera. So I don't know what I'm looking like, all that sort of stuff. Like you see initially when they prep you on the screen. Yeah. But after that.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, those interviews are a little different. I've heard everyone kind of iffy about them now, because it's like, I don't see myself. I don't know how they're interacting. I don't know what's happening. I just hear them. So in terms of look, you want to make sure that your lighting is adequate. That's number one. If you have blemishes, guys, too, you know, little dark circle, honestly, powder concealer, powder foundation, guys, don't be shy. Just make sure it's the right undertone. Come to someone like me. Maybe spend, some people are doing some $10, you know, online
invest. No, again, not spend, invest. Not
invest.
Spend, invest.
Thank you for the correction. Thank you.
Invest.
Absolutely. If that's, you know, where it comes down to, and you're a little bit nervous and this is something big, maybe it's you know, you're putting yourself out there. This is television, whether it's virtual or not, it's still television. You want to put your best foot forward. So absolutely get consults if you're scared. If not, if you know how you're supposed to do your thing, then do it. But just make sure it's natural. I do not want to see you with square eyebrows on the news. Please don't do it. So
okay. No, it's true. You're talking truth, though.
Right. You know, and again, it depends on what platform you're going on, but it just, you know, be real to yourself. And again, this is just me saying this because not everybody believes in my way of doing things. Natural is better, but enhanced, and making sure you look fresh, awake, and engaged, you know, and that's the main thing. I think with these types of ways of speaking and whatnot, now you really want to look engaged and look, you know, forward.
So before we let you go, give us a tip, health, hair or face or beauty tip for men, and one for ladies.
Ooh, okay. So guys who are rocking beards, because I think this has grown.
Yes.
With Rona, some people didn't even know they could grow beards until they were like, whoops, I don't have a barber anymore. I have a beard. Yeah, take care of it. Moisturize the skin underneath. Lots of water, hydration. If you need any consults personally to find out what may or may not work, hit the DMs or email me. And definitely contact me through the website, whatever works. That's one thing for the men. And again, this can lead towards their skincare and whatnot. I just want to put that out there, since it's a lot of people just now learning about their beards. So it's kind of new and fresh for a lot of people. So other than that, for women, let's see, a tip that I'd like to give: learn about your skincare. As much as makeup matters, your skincare does too. And I have to admit, 15 years ago, I didn't even use moisturizer on my clients like that. Like, I'd just be like, yeah, moisturize your face and I'll come and do your makeup. And it wasn't that it wasn't important. It was just like, I'm going to make you look good anyway, so who cares? But now I want them to understand, whether I'm doing their makeup or not, their skincare always comes first. So me just giving them that, that giveaway, it just makes them feel like, oh, so skincare does matter. And it starts a conversation, and they start learning that, yes, as we age, we really want to keep going and make sure we have our skin intact and everything's good. So, and be youthful.
Real Django says, bearded guy here. There you go.
Hey, bearded guy.
So, Real Django, I know you're in Georgia, but if you ever need some consultation, this is the lady you need to go to.
Yeah, I was just traveling to the States, so anything. DMs, online, We're all international over here, so.
Fantastic. Well, Faces, I'd like to say thank you for taking the time. I hope you had a good time with it.
Thank you so much for having me.
And throughout the conversation, if you've been watching, we've been put the contact information up there. But for people who are just going to be listening, Faces, what are the best ways people can get in touch with you?
Well, most people say they see me the most active on Instagram. It's true and not true, but I won't necessarily say why. But yeah, Instagram, Faces by Pureness. Everything social media is Faces by Pureness. I'm now on live streams like Bigo and POF. If you want to hit me up there, it's Pureness.
And I have another thing that I'm going to suggest for you too. That
okay.
I got another one. I could become your pseudo marketing director. There you go.
Like, what in the world? Like, I'm gonna be like taking notes and going crazy.
Oh yes.
But guys, everything is Faces by Pureness. Make sure you hit me up. Check out the website, facesbypureness.com as well. And if you have questions, concerns, that's where you want to hit me. So I'm so happy to have been on the show. Thank you again, Dr. Vibe.
My pleasure. Looking forward to some more.
Absolutely.
All right. It's Dr. Vibe here, host and producer of the award-winning Dr. Vibe Show, the home of Epic Conversations. I'm the host of Epic Conversations, two-time award winner given out by the Canadian Ethnic Media Association. 2020 was for Internet News. 2018 was Innovation Award. Once a month, I host conversations for fathers and dads that are co-sponsored by DAD, Central Canada's National Fatherhood Organization, and Dove Men Care. As always, I'd like to say, if you want to get in touch with me, the best place is my website, thedrvibeshow.com. And I always like to say thank you to people who are watching live that I know of. The Real Dango, thank you. Kene, thank you. I close out with this. Live your life as a dream. If you can dream it, you can make it. Sometimes you have to get smaller to get stronger. Block assumptions, then aim bigger, aim better, aim higher, aim wider. Thank you to BIA Media for another epic production job. Also, don't waste this crisis, and remember to give yourself grace. God bless, peace be well, keep the faith, and never settle. Bye, everybody.